How do you make it bigger? Are we live? Hey, we're live. Well, no, why do you want to be bigger? Huh? Why do you want to be bigger? Oh, you're fine. It's not the whole thing? Oh, you want to make this bigger? Yeah, I was thinking like, right? Yeah. Okay. So now we're looking for.
When you start talking about
you want to start popping in? Okay. So we'll see. You know what? Should I grab my phone maybe?
It's great. It's so fun. See, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if you want to hang out.
Okay.
That's the plan. What do you think? Is the light bad? Because of the light.
No, it's not too bad. I mean, you can close it, just so. Just to know.
You have to go get the flowers. Is that better? You have to, you know.
What did you say? It's Google
So
Hangout?
it takes some time to
people
kind of
watch
get ready for the day, you know?
That's very technical.
And then you want to make sure.
I know
you
it's like-
surveys.
Make sure.
No, that's fine.
Google Hangout.
I just hang out.
No, it's too dark.
There.
I mean, is it that you just don't want the light? We can move this forward so like maybe the.
Maybe we should just move it up.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Just set up. You're gonna start fan light?
Yeah.
Just feel that. Yeah, come, like, when you bring it like this.
I don't
way.
There we go. How's that?
I think starting Saturday or
What's your
something.
son's name? Justin and Chase.
I can't take
But
Monday
sometimes
off.
they
Yeah,
say
Chase is
till
the one that's at
I
home.
can't take Tuesday off really. I could take Wednesday.
Monday's
off.
about
house, just.
Thursday.
Thursday.
He had a track.
Okay. So it says 2 viewers. Hi. Okay, we got 2 hubs. LinkedIn. Right. That looks kind of sideways.
It's funny, this looks like it's
Go stand where you. I'm
trying to like the, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, I'll straighten that, but
okay.
you just.
I don't know.
LaCroix?
Doesn't it look
I
like
do have
Cuda
it.
thing?
It's
Like,
bad.
Cuda
But
thing?
I could
Cuda
probably
thing?
only go in the
If
morning.
they're recording.
Well, Amanda said she
I don't
wanted
know.
to put, but she can post it on Facebook. I have no
Subtle.
idea if she's gonna be
Fruit
alive.
flavor? No.
Yeah, it's
Cure yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Cure
Have you
yourself.
been following
Cure
her?
yourself.
So are they gonna be able to talk?
You're gonna be able
So again,
if they're talking?
LaCroix.
What? On the hub, are you gonna be able to hear them if
LaCroix.
they're talking?
Well, they're not really. They're just needing to hear me, and then we'll have discussion in between, but they'll be discussing within their hub, and then we'll be discussing. Okay, can you guys hear me good from here? But they can't.
Everybody benches their own way, you know?
Tell me if you guys
Down
can.
here, so I think that's
It's Sunday.
exactly.
How
We're all trying to different things,
are you?
you know?
Hi, Mary. Hey.
Okay, so you guys can hear me good? Okay.
She has been texting them. She'll talk to their name and texting them back. But last time she did.
I'm not really
They kept freezing. There you go. This water for us.
Let me ask you
Thank water, the regular drinking water, but that thing tastes like it does like something put in jail to keep the
It should.
so
So it
the
should
fighting
come
rates
with
down.
When are you going to? It should come with it.
Anyone else? For next week. A lot of people are leaving my
So you
school.
can.
Okay.
Or you can.
It's funny, so
My
much
phone for some reason, they're not
Hold on,
working,
my-
but they're also a video. It's
Oh,
on
so let's talk about
purpose.
that.
But I was
And
thinking
she
there
did,
was
they
I
taped it and
didn't
made
think
it.
of once.
Oh, it's.
And then my son and my daughter put, she talks about a waste of money, but
All the email
that's
addresses.
my petition. And then my son made it
I'm
a
very
little,
good.
I mean, talk about revenge, like, we get to be like 18, 21.
Yes.
We also have Google
That's
Hangouts.
the funniest.
Is it
Braggery.
Danita? Can I on?
Well, now there's a
Yeah.
different Google Hangout. You have to go through YouTube. It changed a couple months ago.
I never even knew about it.
But I'm being honest, they need that.
Call it even.
Your husband.
No respect. Yeah, today I got upset again for sour. I was like,
Some
You're
people
crying
Melissa is
tears.
probably privy.
I've gotten, the Supreme Office on speed dial now and calling. I'm like, is my AP there? Come to my room, please.
one girl was talking about KJ. I was not in the mood. Today was not the day. The Lord was not with me. I was like, God help me. I'm about to ring this kid through this hallway right now. My mother is not doing a good job.
Tenía novio
Yes, I have to
y el médico que no hablaba inglés.
She was talking about me.
Me enseñó mucho.
Do you ever just go by?
Yo, can I ask you a question?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a way that if I'm using my okay emails,
My New York comes out.
I'm sending an email.
I
They
know
got
New
it.
York accident comes out.
Is there a way
When I get
somebody
it.
to
And they
answer
start
that?
talking about the smell to make people on breath.
Well, no, it's gonna, on their end, it's gonna say barbara@maryk.com,
They would.
but it's gonna go to like your email. Right, but now if I want, so somebody's answered, right, so answer back and I wanna answer them back. But I want them to see the Mary Kay
They don't
email.
respect us.
No, I don't think so. It goes through my Gmail. So is there like a technical person that I should call, or is there, I would call and ask, I just gotta talk to the right person. Yeah, sure somebody may know. We're like looking through code to like find, how to bypass it.
What's hanging out here? I was like,
They may be right, but sometimes I have one kid.
they think there's 4 different teachers, right?
I'll get it.
And I was like, you're working on here.
I'm gonna.
I don't do it. I don't do it. Wait. When I'm asking for some reason, God is keeping me
The
under
principal
control.
doesn't like too many referrals.
I tried.
That goes with the grade of the school.
She's just,
So,
she got lost and I was like, get here.
yeah, Becky,
Okay.
go girl. Don't be afraid.
And-
Embrace it. Best thing I can do.
And Mary, I have Mary's motivational CD of the month. Yay! And she when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, honey, I won something I didn't even know. And also on the way up to Port San Lucie, I'm have something else to do. So thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. All right, so we're just waiting on one hub. It's having some technical difficulties, so go to let's see.
I'm gonna say
How
Nope.
are you? Nice to see you.
bye.
You smell nice too.
Awesome.
Mary, you put my legs
So that's
Awesome. Always awesome.
Ask me how many what's wrong with me, put mine to shame. My legs to shame.
Awesome.
I have chicken
Good out with
legs
the
and
leg
my
back.
legs look like.
My face may not show it. But my day was awesome.
That's because you need to egg. So it's like this.
If I did something,
How are you?
One of our patients.
I did something on,
They shouldn't do it.
I think
I know.
You know how
You
that
get
is.
it.
No, but it sounds like
It,
It's like crack it here.
that's exactly
I'm
what
gonna
it
write
was.
that down, crack pot.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what it is, what's in it?
I don't know,
I
but
lost
it tastes
my,
like butter
it's like my history, something's not there
and
that I
it
had
is so
earlier.
oily, so fattening.
I don't know how to go back and find
You
it.
can only eat one piece,
Give me
but
a word
it's
that was
good and sweet. And then they had like all these different.
It was,
The compost cookie had like just tons of it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool.
Today she left at 2.
There's always kids in the 8th grade office.
It's like our
hanging
patients
out,
love us, but they're
walking
trying to make
the
us.
They think it's
First
first
thing.
When you say patience is.
I work for
The
no
kids from
BGA.
There's kids walking around in between classes because they don't want to go to class. Nobody puts them in class.
Yes.
So they
Sounds like
do
a
the
lot of
math.
Or it was called
Once they
Dope on the
deliver,
Road.
they always send
Then
like
they
a
give it
little.
Then you gotta give them a lot of alcohol.
Dope on the Road.
You're not giving enough remedial
Yes,
stuff.
it makes it hard to any single little notes.
I saw it earlier.
You know, God bless me too, because I got my daughter broke with you. And she goes, "What's happening?" And
I didn't want to get coffee though.
you were pushing me to get out.
Early.
Yeah, I can't do that. My phone tells me no caffeine.
Yeah.
No caffeine. No caffeine.
She's the one we're waiting on. Water breaks. And I was like, I don't know,
No, like,
First one to keep on.
no, mine
Around
ain't great.
70 in my coffee.
They broke mine each.
Holly's coming from work.
Holly's coming?
I was actually in
Yeah.
in
I
the
was like,
room, already checked in, and just had come back. I was walking to my bed and I went,
No.
"Oh,
Hold on, let me do this. Okay, it's about
Oh, that's
here.
excited."
Yeah,
And the doctor was so excited because he didn't have to come break my water.
What is all that?
Do you,
I'm
and
gonna
this
take
I don't know, not like that.
So that'll be on my Safari now, right?
She did.
I don't know what it is. What is it? Okay.
Because if you do one, it will automatically do
Yeah, like afterwards, I would think. Is it like chocolate rhinestone?
Okay, Unique, are you on? Are we good? All right, she's on. All right, we're ready to go. You guys ready?
Take the prize.
Okay.
Take the prize. Stop stealing.
Hey.
In the candy store. I tell you.
All right, well, welcome to Pacesetters. Yay! I have been anticipating this night. I am so excited. Just lots of prayer about this, and I just truly am expecting breakthroughs, you guys. I just know that it is going to happen, and what I want to say, is that I know that I am going to give you what you need to go to the next level, to equip you to have that breakthrough. But it's really going to be you right now making that decision to say, I'm ready for this. I am ready for that breakthrough. Because only when you say that to yourself and when you say that you're ready. Because it really does come down to that, right? It really does. So I'm going to say everything to all of you the same, but it's those of you that are going to receive it and going to be able to take it and really run with it. So I'm really excited. So I hope that you will just be very all in with this program, and that you won't just kind of fly in by the seat of your pants on Thursdays, that you will really look at this, kind of like I said, if you listen to the boxer, people pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to a leadership development. I told you I was talking to that gal yesterday, and she actually, companies hire her and high-level executives hire her. And they go in and they pay a lot of money, to do that. And so you better bet that those people are investing 100% of their energy and the things that they're learning and applying that because they invest that. And so I know that, you're not investing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I want you to really think like that. Because if you will say, I'm all in, I'm going to take this, I'm going to run with this 110%, I know you'll have those breakthroughs. And I know that you're going to be in a completely different place in your mind and in your business. I mean, you may not see 100% of that change in 6 weeks in your business, but you're going to be ready for it, right? And you're going to start attracting. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to just open us up in prayer and just ask God to be with us today. So if you'll just bow your head with me, dear Lord, I just thank you so much for every single woman, you guys, that is participating in this program, God, the ones that are here at this hub and all of the different hubs, and just our entire AAA family, God, that you would just have blessings, that you would pour out blessings all over our AAA family, all over our company, God, all over our families, that you would just let us be present to be here, that you would speak through me, God, because it's not what I say, it's what you say. You know what each and every one of these women need to hear through their heart and in their minds, God, to be able to take that and go to have that influence, God, because I know that when we truly are our best selves, that we're going to be able to go have the influence to be that light in the world that you need so badly right now. So we're just so grateful for this opportunity to just be able to grow in our leadership. And I just ask that you would watch our mouth, not just in this time together, but just to not be complaining and not just watch our work, Lord, that we would be uplifting to one another during this time, that we would be encouragers, that we would stretch one another to be our best, and that we really would, as iron sharpens iron, and that's what this would be. So just be with us during this time, be with us during this 6 weeks, God, and we are expecting miracles because you're a God of miracles. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, so let's get started. All right, well, I'd like to first just kind of talk about what this is, what kind of we expect. And one of the things I said is that if you want life to change, the first step is that you must change, okay? So that's what this whole thing is really about, because our circumstances aren't going to change. It's really going to be, I'm going to change, and therefore my circumstances will, or I'll be okay with my circumstances. So if we want our life to change, that's why we're here, then we have to change. And if you want your life to get better, you have to get better. Okay, that's the only way our life gets better. It's the only way our life is going to change. So until you have a shift in your head, you can contribute to do the activity, and you can run around and do 100 million parties and 100 interviews and 100 lead events and all of that stuff, but maybe not see any different results. Have that shift in our mind, because only when you have the shift in your mind and you
eliminate excuses, is a breakthrough possible. Who's ready for a breakthrough? Ready? You remember that song? That's our song of summer. Ready for a breakthrough? All right. So you're gonna play that maybe over these next 6 weeks, right? Download that. Do that while you're, in the car. But expect the breakthrough, because if you come into this and you're expecting that, it's going to happen. If your mind is, well, it's just going to be one more thing. No, then you probably are going to leave the 6 weeks a little bit better, but not with the breakthrough. So if you're really coming into this with a mindset like, this is going to be the thing to take my business to the next level. This is going to transform me, and you believe that, and you're all in, and you're expecting that to happen, it will. So here's what I know. Okay. So if you have the right mindset, plus you have the right activity, it's like 2 sticks of dynamite. I want you to, right? And what happens when you put 2 sticks of dynamite together? It's an explosion. You can't have one or the other. You cannot have all the right activity. You can't have just the mindset without the work. It's when you take the right activity with the right mindset, put it together, you have an amazing explosion that will blow your mind. Who wants to blow their mind, right? I want to blow my mind. Okay. So what we do each week is we are going to have some recognition, and we're going to go through that. And the top 3, as you guys saw the prizes, will get to come up. And so we're going to do that now. We're going to start at the beginning each week to do the recognition from the week before. And I do just want to go through it and just clarify, because there were some, what's the word? I guess discrepancy, or you can kind of look, and one person may look at it and go this, or one person could maybe go that. So I wanted to print it, but I couldn't print it. So does everybody have it in front of them?
Yeah, I remember the discrepancy I had.
If you want to pull that up, let's real quick. And Rachel, I thought I could hear you on there, but she's, would y'all give it up for Rachel?
Hi, Rachel!
She created all of that, all the form for us, and is helping track it and do all that. So let's go through the categories, because the categories will not change. They're going to be the same every week. It's just your homework will change every week, and the 2 bonus points will change. So parties, 3+ people, 200+ in sales, 2 new parties booked. That's 50 points. So if you have a party with 3 people, sales, and no new bookings, how many points do you get? 0. Okay, does everybody understand? Because this, again, you guys, it's about you learning the right results. If you're not getting the parties and you're not getting, because that's what a party should look like. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, I get 25 points because I got whatever. Okay, so faces.
Is it
Faces.
on the Voxer? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not on it.
On the Pacesetters?
Okay.
I downloaded it. Demita, you want me to send it to you?
Yes.
I'll send it to you in text message.
Okay, so faces, double face, and we'll repost for the new. So again, these are not including the party faces, right? Because you're already getting points for that. And then that's 10 points per face. Yes.
Okay, so then if it didn't meet the criteria of parties, then you would put it in the faces category?
Correct. Yep, exactly. Okay. So did y'all hear that? So if you didn't get to count those faces at the party because you didn't meet that criteria, then you would just count it in the faces category. Good. Good question. Okay. Interviews held face-to-face with your director or DIQ, because you may be a part of a DIQ team, or if you're a DIQ, that will count. And here's why, you guys. So one of the basic things about leadership, and I learned this years ago from John Maxwell, and it's been proven, it's one of the reasons I think we've had the success, and I've seen that in Mary Kay, is somebody who's great at doing the skill, right? So, right, you watch your director who's skilled at doing the interview, and then after you've watched her a couple times, then the role will switch. Then they watch you do it and tweak you a little bit, and then you spread your wings and fly, and you're ready to do it on your own. That is the best way to be a strong recruiter. It's like when my dad taught me, he was a baseball coach, and so when I learned the skill, and just right now he's like, don't put your son in Little League because they're going to teach him all the wrong skills, because it's so much harder if you learn how to hit a bat wrong and then try to redo it, right? So if you go and do 10 interviews on your own and you're creating bad habits, what's the point, right? Are you just doing the interviews to check it off the box, or are you doing it to grow your team? Grow your team, right? Okay, so that's why we have it like that. It's what's best for you to get the results and learn the best. All right, so new team members. Yes.
So it does have to be with the director or
Or a DIQ.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Team members, 50 points for each new team member. That's just if they agreements in. Parties booked. must be held within 2 to 3 weeks, all right? So if I book Kathy in June, does that count? Because again, you guys, you've got to be learning the skill and the rules to play the game.
Can I ask a question on that too?
Mhm.
Are those new parties or ones that
Correct.
are already booked?
Well, so each week is whatever happened that week.
Okay.
Yeah. Facials or guest booked must be held. Oh, that's what we just went over. Okay. Customer service calls, 5 points for every $100 sold. Okay, example, $200 in sales is 10 points. 300 in sales, 10 points for every 300 sold. So again, sales. And when you guys are filling out your category, only put, like if that was your example, if you had 600 in sales, you just put 20 points. You don't need to put 10 plus 10 is 20. Just do your total points in the category, okay? Product order, same thing. Just put your total for that category. And you don't have to put like an explanation. New leads, 5 points for every 10 names. There was definitely some discrepancies with the leads. So again, 5 points for every 10 names. That's 15 points, okay? Because there were some of those that didn't match up. Okay, move up the career path. And this is really good because some people get confused by this. When you move, how does somebody move up the career path? How do they officially change their title?
Qualify a team member.
When the team member places their order. Just because somebody gets a team member, they don't become a senior, they don't move up, right? Okay, so if Barbara recruits myself and Floretta, until we place an order, right, would she move up, okay? All right, and then, of course, again, then you're gonna have your exercise. Why do you think I chose to put exercise on there every week? If this is a leadership development program.
Because that's part of that's actually part of what successful people, they actually have exercise in their routine. It helps them focus, you know.
Have energy.
Yeah, perfect. It's mind, it's energy, you guys, you know, it's not, I mean, that's the main reason, you guys hit it nail on the head. So right, if you ask successful people, they make that a part of their routine. And those of you that heard the Miracle Morning, and any successful person, I know Simon Sinek, I was listening to him a couple weeks ago, same thing. He said, I had to change that because all the successful people were doing that. And if someone wants to do an appointment during my workout time, I'm like, no, I already have an appointment. Like, you don't change that because that's a part of your self-development. Okay, and then you have your homework. Like I said, the homework will change. Now with the homework, as you see, sometimes there's dual things, bless you. So if you did your 6 most, but you did not do your 5 parties, you don't get, again, 0 points, right? It's either all or nothing for each category, okay? And then your bonus points again, so you'll always have 1 homework each week, that will change, and your 2 bonus things will change every week. So any questions about points? Good. So you guys excited to see who the first winners are?
Okay. Did you have to tweak it or did you tweak it yourself from the weekly?
No, I just went by this and then, you know, but so, and here's the thing, you guys, at the end, the thing is, you guys, we're just doing it because there's a lot of, you know, a lot of people miss whatever, but in the end, it's going to be fine with the cumulative.
Yeah.
So just, now you'll know. And Rachel, if there's anything you want to add that I didn't cover, will you text me since I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to hear you on it. But so each week I'm going to recognize the top 1 so you get recognition, but the top 3 are who get to pick prizes. And then at the end, we're going to have the cumulative, the top 5 winners. And these are awesome prizes. Okay, I want like every single prize. This is like so fun. I was like shopping. Yes, I want that. I want that. I want that. And then I got too much, and then I had to choose to put things back, and that was okay. But the top 5 are like, I have to go shopping. There's 2 I really want to keep myself. So this may change between now and the end. I may have to go buy 2 more things. Okay, Rachel said I was good. Okay, good. I covered everything. Thank you, Rachel. All right, so drum roll. Where did I put this on 10? All right, okay.
I have 1 hand right now.
Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys know the top 10, and we'll cheer for them. We'll come up, and then you'll get to pick the prizes. So number 10 was from the Wilda Sigler unit, Kim Harvey. Number Tallahassee girls. Number 9 was one of our, and I want you guys to know this so you can know for your points. 9 through, from 9 to the highest, had at least 300 points for the week, and then I think we had between 300 to 600, right, in that category. Okay, so number 9 was one of our directors from Tallahassee, Rachel Quinn. Number 8, another Tallahassee Lassie director, Willa Sigler. Number 7, from the Dixon Hummingbird unit, Jackie Grant. Brand new red jacket. Ooh, number 6 is in the room in the All-Stars unit, Mary Santiago. Awesome. Number 5, our superstar Mary Anna director, Paula Croft. Yay, director. All right. Number 4, also from the Dixon unit, Stephanie Corman. All right. So our top 3 are going to either join me up front or join me virtually up front. Okay. So here's the top 3 in alphabetical order, so you will not know. Beth Abreu, come on up here. DIQ in the house. All right. And director, she's not here, Kanisha Dixon. And our third is from the All-Star unit is in the room. Yeah. Dana. All right. So I think the fair way to do it is I'm going to announce the number 1, and then they will get to pick which prize they want. Y'all like that? Okay. So drum roll. Number 1, our first week of leadership is DIQ. Beth Abreu. Congratulations. So Beth, before you go, why don't you being number 1, why don't you just give everybody maybe a tip or?
Okay. Well, actually, what I was telling Floretta, I guess, would be my tip, and that is just to work even when you don't want to work, kind of thing. Because I hear all the time in my DIQ CDs, you know, it talks about there's no difference between someone's background, where you're from, nothing. It's all about how hard you're willing to work. So I think that has I've seen things change, and, you know, I might have a bad day, but I come back and I say, you know what, get it together, pick up the phone and call these 5 people you don't want to call right now. And once I do it, I get momentum, and then I keep calling, and then something always sprouts from something. So it's like, don't feel like you go to a party, nothing happened. You actually are planting those seeds. It just comes back in some way, shape, or form. So your energy that you put out really makes a difference. So always just keep giving your energy until you get where you need to be.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, surprise. Okay. Let's see what she's gonna pick.
Oh my gosh. The word strength, because I need a lot of that. This is really cute.
Just said she got enough.
This is hard.
She does. She stole like all of them from
Okay, I probably will break the necklace, and I'm gonna go with this one. This one looks more durable.
Very cute.
Thank you. I break jewelry.
Okay, stay up here so we can get a picture in just a minute. Okay.
Super cute.
And in the number 2 spot for week 1, Dana. All right, Dana. Let's see. We'll bring Kanisha's to her. Congratulations, Kanisha.
That one's really cute.
She did. That's what's playing show down.
That is very pretty. That one's pretty, Dana. And you won't break it like me, so. That one's cute too.
I'm like going necklace.
Yay! All right. So someone take a picture and post it on AAA. Our top 2 winners. I need like a picture of Kanisha's face or something.
You got
I
it.
should have printed a poster.
Barb got it.
Okay.
Yay.
But she touched it.
So you're playing. Where's your playing?
Let's go.
Should I take one off?
Wait, here we go. Okay, wait, you hold this like that. Yeah, there you go. And then suck it in. Okay, and then turn.
You ready?
Awesome.
Barbara's tears coming out.
Go, girl. I told you. You do it.
Okay,
Keep going.
Kanisha, that's your prize. You. Strength.
Aw, I still like it.
Strength.
Still like
See it? Yay! Okay. Awesome. Well, that was fun. Are you guys loving the prizes?
She has it. Yes, Dana.
Intense.
Good job. I saw it.
just wait. They're gonna get better and better. All right, who's gonna work a little harder this week?
All of us.
That did not sound very convincing. Who's gonna work a little harder this week? Before we move on, in each hub, if you'll take about 2 or 3 minutes and just discuss, a part of your homework this past week was to watch the Pam Shaw video where she was speaking at a seminar on that. So just each hub just take 2 or 3 minutes, and I'd love for maybe 2 or 3 people just kind of share their takeaway from that video or how that impacted you.
Do you want me to
Are
start?
you
Whoever, yeah, just 2 or
Wait,
3.
are you gonna mute this so that they can have their discussion?
They can mute it.
Okay.
Right?
I don't, I,
Yeah,
and then you, okay.
Go ahead, Amanda.
It was the same one that was offered from the website. So I had downloaded that one and actually listened to that one first, and then it was the same exact video. And I feel like there's such a connection between her and I because the whole teaching thing. And she was a teacher and she was doing 20 million things in the school like I do, 20 million things. I'm never home. Today I haven't been home yet. I don't know what my house looks like sometimes. And she just pushed through it. And that's where I'm getting to. That part is where I think it's overtaking everything else, where I'm finally getting to that part to get there. So her connection with mine, I think, is strong because of the whole teaching aspect.
Awesome. It feels good when you're going to have that connection.
Yeah.
Who else wants to share their takeaway?
Well, I'll share. When I was shared a lot of emotions, like from the beginning to throughout, and when I saw that she walked to the house and nobody was there, I had that happen, and I know that happens to all of us, you know, at one point or another. But you know, you push through that. But when Pamela Shaw was talking, and she was just going through that whole speech. Because that was part of the video, right?
Right.
Okay, awesome. I was like, that's it. I'm saving this sucker. Because I had never seen it. I had never seen that video. So I'm like, this is going to be one of my wirings in the morning, you know, when you're waking up to remind you of everything, of that grit. Yeah. And it was like hitting so many points of how I personally feel, and I'm sure that everybody, but you know, it just touched me so personally inside that I was like, this is what I need to listen to every morning to remind me, you know, that this is what you're processing, this is what you're going through, your frame of mind that has to be. And I mean, when she said, who cares about the nose? Nobody's gonna, you know, you're not gonna care when you're on that NSC trip, you know, or the top, you know, trip director, you're not gonna care. And I'm like, that is so true. That is so, so true. And I really enjoy looking at all your pictures, you know, everybody was having such a wonderful time. So, and I pictured that too, so I was like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, and I think sometimes you see people and you're like, oh, Pam Shaw, you know, you see her on stage and you're like, sometimes it's like you forget, like, oh, they started the same place, they went through the same journey. And, you know, it's interesting, I was in Gloria's suite. I'll tell you, it's nice being her friend. After parties in her suite, especially the one in Rome. Oh my gosh, they showed us. Next year, that's where we're going, and her suite in Rome is like the sickest thing you've ever seen. Her suite was the size of my house.
Wow.
Her balcony was the size of my room there. And when you see her suite in Rome, it is like, I can't even, oh my gosh, we were all like, what? I already told her, I'm like, Gloria, you better have some after party. I'm already coming, because she has this huge hot tub, probably like the size of this whole room that's gonna be in her suite in Rome. It is sick. But anyway, I was sitting there one night in her suite, and I was like talking to Lisa Madsen for like an hour, and you know, she goes through the same things. Like, I think sometimes you forget that they do. But again, you know, that's not the stuff when you're standing behind stage, you know, and you're about to, you know, you've had this year of amazing stuff. You're about to pick up your diamond ring. You know, you don't remember this stuff. At that moment, what are you feeling? I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did, right? So that's good. Good. All right, anybody else?
I agree with what Mary said, because I like how she said that you won't remember them. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't remember a lot of people. But I'm like, I don't remember. No, but yeah, like that I identify with, like the fact that she was a teacher and she was doing all those things and still able, you know, to push through it. And what you were saying, like how you're just not going to remember that, and it's true. You know, it's like it would be not normal if you didn't go through those disappointments, and because that is what is going to grow you and prepare you and get you ready for the next hurdle. So it's like you have to go through it. If you haven't gone through it, then something's wrong. You're not working enough. You have to go through it. So.
And I think too, for all of us to remember not to take things personally, right? A lot of times people aren't doing it because you're not good enough, or because anything. It's just they either don't have integrity or their life happened and they got busy. And I think sometimes we internalize too much, and that can really mess us up, right? So just not to take it personal. All right, you guys ready? Let's keep going. All right, so let's dive in today. So week 1, I want to encourage you guys to all take notes. If you want to record, that's great too. And again, because you're really going to take this seriously, make time every week after this, probably within 24 hours. You can even pick a time right now to go study your notes. Like listen to it, but you really need to take it, apply it, and there's going to be some things that you're going to need to take extra time. I'm not going to really say this is a part of your homework, but I'm going to say these are, you're going to get things to work on as we're going through it. So again, I just want to emphasize, I am certain, say certain, that this program will give you that, and I'm going to give you my very best, and the rest will be up to you. So everybody have a mirror. Take out your mirror and your compact. You should all have a Mary Kay compact. Minus Becky. Maybe it doesn't. Okay. Or on your phone, you can take that. Okay. So everybody grab your compact. Because you must give yourself your best to have a better life and a better you. So open your mirror and say, it's up to me. It's up to me. Okay? Say, you are the problem. You are the problem. Or you are the solution.
Or you are the solution.
Okay. So you choosing that you want to have a breakthrough, like I said, because again, I know to get you, if you want to go all the way wherever it is. If you just want to better yourself as a person, if you want to better yourself as a leader, get to director, get to national. And many of you are a lot smarter than I am, right? It's not about how smart you are, how anything. Like Beth said, it really comes down to what Mary Kay said. How bad do you want it, and how bad are you willing to work for it? So I just want you to know that I've been in your shoes, and anything that you go through, I promise you I've been there, just probably more times to do that. So I'm going to be talking to you as entrepreneurs. I'm going to be talking to you as leaders. Okay, who can receive that? Okay, so you got to put your mindset ready to be able to hear that, because those that are serious, who truly want to change and want to live that great life. So in week 1 today, there's 4 things we're going to cover in week 1. Number 1, we're going to talk about what it takes to be successful. Second thing we're going to discuss today is fear. That if you are a fear. 3, the third thing we're going to discuss today in week 1 is self-esteem and our self-worth. And the 4th thing we're going to talk about today is commitment. Okay, so who's excited? So we're covering today. All right, so the first thing, I want you to write down, okay, what is it that motivates you? Just write down the first thing. Don't overthink it. Just what's the first thing that comes to mind? Just shout it out.
Family.
Family. Yep. Children. Flexibility. Independence. Money.
Change.
Better future. What? Better future. Okay. I want you to write down, why did you originally come into Mary Kay Cosmetics? Why did you originally come in? Think back to that moment that you decided, I want to do this to better my life, to make more money, to have change, to whatever it was. What was that original thing that you wrote down?
What if you don't know? I still have no idea why I stayed up that night. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I am still searching for my wife. I don't know.
But that's okay. I think I didn't know until I went to seminar.
And that's why I think this in seminar will make me figure out my why.
It will.
I don't know.
And you know what? I'm glad that Lisa, you brought that up, because sometimes I think that we are waiting for some big epiphany. And what I found is, I always say it was seminar, but it wasn't like I was at seminar and something happened and I was like, that's it. But what happened is, after seminar, it's like something got inside of me, and then it started happening over time. Does that make sense? I think seminar, I can't explain it, and it's why I tell people you have to go, because you can't explain it. and I even remember leaving seminar, I'm like, okay, well, did I have the epiphany? I couldn't pinpoint it, but then after that, things started happening, right? So I knew that I had it, right? Yeah, everything was different. So, and I remember feeling like that, like I would hear some people's stories, you know, and sometimes you hear people's I stories or even like their God story, and I'm like, sometimes I don't feel like I have some big, like, you know, right? But that's okay. You don't have to have some big dramatic story. As long as you keep showing up and know, you know what, this is good for me, and I'm going to figure it out over time. Because all of us figure it out at different times in different ways. Sometimes it's in a small setting like this. Sometimes it's a big seminar with 15,000 people. You never know. And that's why I can just tell you, show up. You just never miss anything because you never know.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Changes over time too.
Right. Your whys will change, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say is like I did not know why I really started, right? So I couldn't figure out a why at all. Until I sat in a group kind of like this and just sitting here and learning and talking about it, that really kind of helped develop, you know, oh, you know what, I'm starting to relate to this. I'm starting to really, you know, kind of figure out that this is my direction of why I really, you know, deep down started to do it.
No, for me, it was literally an answered prayer because I was literally praying about I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. But just because, you go into it and you're like, exactly. So this is honestly more of a personal development at this time. But I knew from that minute that was like an answered prayer. So
Yeah.
you know exactly.
And you guys are, and there's so many women out there right now who are lost, who don't have direction. And that is why I hope you look at this like I do, is like this is a mission field. You know, I love what Daisha said on the Facebook Live, what did she, makeup ministry? That's what this is. This is a makeup ministry, right? When else can you get in front of those women and make that impact? And there's women out there that are praying that don't have the sisterhood. I mean, nobody has a sisterhood like Mary Kay. Y'all know that. I mean, there is nothing out there. So here's what I want you to discuss in your hubs for the next 2 or 3 minutes. I asked you guys this week to go on a walk in nature and to dig deeper within yourself. And so if you didn't do that this week, it's okay. You can do it, right? Still do it if you miss a week. But really ask yourself, what do I want out of life? What do I really want out of life? And am I willing to work for that? Right? Am I going to just say that this is what I want? Or am I really going to do what it takes to have that in my life? Okay? So let's just discuss that for a couple minutes. I'd love to hear, as you guys were walking, what were some of those things you came up with?
Well, I came up with, I only have one life. That's it. And I gotta make the best of it. It's gonna be done. Like, you know, that's just how I felt. Like I was walking around and it's just like, there's only one, you know, and either I make it awesome and write my story as an awesome story, or I just continue just doing, you know, and I don't wanna continue doing.
Want to have a bestseller, or do we want to have
That's right. I want to have like an amazing story for me, for my children, for my grandchildren, you know, that type of thing, you know.
You know, when you really think about it, we're all going to die. The only thing you have left is your legacy. And that's what you instill in your children, and that's what you're instilling in, you know, hopefully who you're leading. That you've instilled that and you've changed that in them. So, and we can give that away every day. About what we have at Mary Kay. It's we literally can give that away. Awesome. What else?
Mine was kind of similar. It was like just like thinking, okay, this is what I was like born to do. Like this is what I've been looking for my whole life, and I've been working so hard to be the best at something. And I just was doing the best at something that wasn't rewarding. So it's like, this is my purpose. This is how I'm really gonna tap into the gifts that I felt like I had, but they just weren't, you know, being utilized, you know, in finance and teaching. And it's like, it's all been like a little game. Like I've been going through this game. It's like, this is what I'm here for. It's like just to really impact and change a lot of women's lives. And just, you know, be that, you know, light for people. So this is the impact I was looking for when I was looking to be a teacher. That's what I wanted to make a difference. But this is the way, like, I had to go out with a bang. And that's how I feel. Like, I was meant to blow up, and now, like, I just feel like it's just the perfect match. It was just made for me. So
That's so good.
yeah.
Like, when you find that one, you know.
Yeah, it's like, it's better. I've already seen how I changed women's lives. And all I get from my middle schoolers is a little note. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, you know, this is
Powerful.
I know.
Really
No, I love my notes, and I know I make a difference, but I want to make a difference for women that I feel like, you know, could just do so much more at that age in their life, you know?
I would suggest, like, if you don't mind, like, post those notes on your, whatever you have at school, whether it's like a chalkboard or, and I started doing this myself because my kids leave me these little notes all the time. And, but the power behind that, and I was actually listening today to 25 Ways to Win with people. So it's like specifically, so the idea was that these students were constantly fighting, and so the teacher made them stop and write something nice about the students that was in there, and then gave them to them. And to the day, they were holding, one of them had passed away, and they were holding that note. They brought it out in front of the teacher when they went to the funeral, to show that what an impact that made. So just think about if you posted those notes for even those young girls, because I know that you work in a Title I school, what an impact that they know that they can send that to you, and you're actually bouncing that back off. You know what? My teacher actually thought enough of me to put up my note.
Look, I actually took pictures of it, and the note that the girl gave me today was, "Thank you so much for being a great teacher. I would say out of all my teachers, you were my favorite for sure. And to be completely honest with you, I feel like you made me a better person. And I know that wherever I end up in life, I will know it was because of you.
Aww.
Thank you so much, Miss Abreu. I appreciate all your hard work." And then she put her numbers on there.
That will make her cry.
It's like
I love it, but I feel like with Mary Kay, I have to do it more because it's like I have to make a bigger impact, you know, and that's how I feel. That's how I felt when I was walking.
And if y'all, I'm gonna mention it later, but the 5 levels of leadership, you know, because it depends. It's like when you know that you're a leader, you know, success without a successor is a failure. It actually says that in the Bible. So if you don't multiply, if you know you have leadership, like not everybody, like God gives certain people leadership. So leadership is like giving that away. It's like being able to duplicate that in other people. And so then if you do that, then those people can make that much of an impact. You're only one person, right? Now I'm gonna go into this, but we're each one person. So yes, we're gonna make an impact, but if we're called to be leaders, our job is to reproduce ourselves. That's how you change millions of lives. And what I love, and some of you don't know, my whole family are teachers. I broke the chain. But we get to help moms. And then look what, like, Barbara does, right? And then now her children, because ultimately, yes, hopefully you get some good teachers along the way, but ultimately the moms will impact and influence the children more than anybody and do that. And if your words of affirmation, you know, if you look in my office, I have cards up, you know, and I get those all the time. I put them up. I have one of Mary, you know, that I'll read frequently that's up on my thing, you know, and I keep them out and pull those out and read those, you know, from people. Whatever it takes to motivate you to.
I'm gonna do that though.
Anybody else want to share from their walk? Any great moments that they had? Well, if you didn't do it, I encourage you to do. Do you want to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it just, one thing I was thinking of, it's been on my mind throughout the week is, you know, exactly what you were talking about, your descendants, and it says in the Bible, you know, I set before you life and death, choose life so that you and your descendants will live. So it just really makes me think of every single day. Tomorrow is not gonna come back. When we're done with today, it's not gonna come back. So what are we doing, what am I doing every single day to leave a legacy?
Tomorrow you're one step closer to not. Yeah. That's why Mary Kay said, do it now, do it now, do it now. Be part of the Dividend Club, right? Because you never know. You never know. So, okay, awesome. Well, great stuff. So, here's what I want you guys to write down. Ultimately, when you think about what you want, all of you, based on whatever that you said, we all need money, yes? We all need money. This is a business. Ultimately, whether you want any of those things that you said, it probably all takes money for whatever you wrote down. And here's what I have found, that there's really 3 things that you want money for and you need money for in your life. Number 1, savings. You need money to have savings. Some of you are really highly motivated by that. All 3 of these probably motivate you to some extent, but you're gonna have some. Some people are like safety and security. Like I know Lisa Madsen's big on that, Dacia's on that. It's how much am I saving for my children, putting away for their college, or I know that my parents are gonna, you know, probably have to be taken care of one day. I want to know that I can do that, and I need money saved up for that. So you're always thinking about the future of what you need. The second thing people want money for is experiences. You guys know that that's a huge one for me. And I do want to talk a little bit about that, just coming back from Argentina, which was a trip about experiences. I should have Will come out here and talk to you about his experience learning tango, because it was very humorous. And I was telling Becky about it earlier, but Will's not a dancer. I do love to dance. And I had the outfit, I even brought the heels, like I was into it, okay, baby. and Will's like, I can't get the 3rd step. He was getting so frustrated. I'm just gonna sit down, you know? And anyway, it was amazing though, just to have that. And it was really funny because they were like, okay, you gotta feel your partner. This is, you know, tango's all about communicating. And I was cracking up the whole time because that was just my reaction the whole time. Everyone was like, why are you laughing at me? And I'm like, I promise I'm not laughing at you. And this whole thing is just very funny. And you know how like sometimes uncomfortable situations just laugh. I'm just laughing the whole time. And it was just making me more frustrated. But that was awesome. But just seeing like the places that they took us, and they had this one place, I don't know if y'all saw like the real fancy night, and it was like they would serve us, we would eat, and then they would do tango, and then we would eat some more, and there was tango. I mean, it was just incredible. And I mean, all the places they took us, and then the ranch with the horses. I mean, to see a man put down a horse like a dog, I mean, it was phenomenal. And like to see the horses like dancing to the music, the whole thing, the culture, it was incredible. So, but to have those experiences, you guys, and you talk about writing a book like the bestseller, right? You want those exciting things. I mean, there's just always stuff to look forward to. So that costs money. And then giving to others. Giving to others. So I think all 3 of those things, and so knowing what motivates you, that was actually probably the biggest thing to me. Will always jokes that if I had all the money in the world, I would just want to give it away. But that truly drives me. And some of y'all know the story that the year I decided I'm going to go for national, and it is a decision, right? Everything is a decision. And I remember I was at seminar, Barbara Senna was the #1 director. She got a $57,000 bonus check on stage, and she said she was going to give it, like almost all of it, to this charity. And that's all I heard. I don't know anything else that happened. That's all I needed to hear. And I'm like, Amy, what are you doing? You're not stepping up to your full potential. So how could God use you as big, right? Because if God gives you a vision, He didn't give you that vision to torment you your whole life, to say that's never going to happen, right? So I had this big vision, but I thought, oh my goodness, I got to step up, because God could use me the same way. So if I want to do that. So I want you guys to really take time this week and think about those 3 things and say, what is really motivating me? Is it the savings for something specific for my future? Is it an experience or experiences that I want to have? Is it because I really have, you know, I really want to give to a certain cause? You know, what is that? Find what drives you, and then figure out a way to keep it in front of you. To keep it in front of you. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to write down what you think it takes per person, okay? And maybe you think, what does it take to be national? But just jot it down. Okay, what do you think it takes? How does somebody create those things in their life? You know, we all have seen this in the world. We've all seen this a lot in Mary Kay, that this can be the vehicle to create those things in their life. People having, you know, savings for their money, amazing experiences, giving to charities. So if one can do it, so can you, if we're willing to change. So if you want to change, you can. You don't have to be stuck in your bad ways or your negative ways. And, you know, I know this may be hard to know, but I used to not be the most positive person. I used to be kind of negative. I used to worry about everything, right? I used to always like anticipate the bad thing was going to happen. So what I want you to know is that's how I know people can change. I used to maybe think people couldn't change, but people can change if they want to, right? And if they honestly have somebody to come alongside of them and want to pour into them and want to help them change, to do that. So how does somebody get to the top? How does somebody be a true success? So just shout it out, some things that you wrote down. Dedication, hard work,
Commitment.
Strong faith.
Empathy.
I said repetition.
Humility, faith,
Commitment.
consistency, commitment,
Open-minded.
open-minded.
Positive thinking.
Positivity.
So like understand it's not like about you. Like God gave you this, but you know, it's about other women as well.
Well, it's really interesting. I was having a conversation. Somebody actually asked me this question right before I left for the trip. And they said, how did you get to where you are? And they like wanted an answer. and so I was like, okay, let me take a minute and think about it. And I started just saying stuff, you know, and then they were writing it down. I thought, you know what, I should write this down. And I thought, well, this would be a good thing to talk about in our Pacesetters so that you really, really know. So, and then I went back after the lesson, I really thought about it. So I thought I wanted to share with you guys because this is what I know what it takes. This is what I know. So if you'll look at this, if you'll study this list and maybe look at the areas, some of you are going to go, check, I got that one, baby. And then there may be some other ones that you're going, man, I really need to work on that. So I wrote down faith. I can tell you there's so many times, you guys, where I don't know how something happened, but I believed in it and I like trusted in God. Again, I'm telling you, I didn't know how, but I had faith that it was going to come together. I wrote down perseverance. That speaks for itself, huh? Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep going. People give up too quick. People give up too quick, you guys. You know, this is building a business. Do you know that for most businesses, it takes 3 years of consistency to actually get it going? People come to Mary Kay for like 3 months. What? You've been here for a second. Like, you got to have time. Dedication. Okay, you got to be dedicated. This can't be Mary Kay said, career, you know, God first, family second, career third. That means you're dedicated to it. This isn't like 10th on the totem pole. Sacrifice. I wrote down sacrifice. I don't, if you want to be successful in anything, you got to be willing to make some sacrifices. So I did give up things for certain seasons. I did give up a lot of Saturdays. I can remember doing my 2 or 3 Saturdays every Saturday, seeing people driving on a boat. And I'm like, man, I wish I would go with them. I was like, but I'm doing this now because I know one day I can buy a boat for Will, right? We can live on the water. So I kept that in mind. And I'm not saying you have to give up on your Saturdays. That was just one of the things I sacrificed. We're all going to figure out those different things that we are willing to sacrifice. And most of the time we don't have to sacrifice it forever. Seasons. Bounce back ability, okay? Bounce back ability. You know, if you take 3 months to bounce back from a disappointment, you guys, you can't. You have to learn to bounce back. And that's a part of why you're consistent and you do things like this to develop yourself to consistently grow. Discipline. Discipline, all right? You've got to learn to have discipline, all right? Because the opposite of that is lazy. You're either ant or the sluggard, right? What's the opposite of discipline? Lazy. Right? That's not what I want to leave the legacy. Let me show you lazy, child. Okay, loving others unconditionally. It's kind of what Elaine was saying. You got to love people unconditionally. There are times people perform. There are times people don't perform. You don't love somebody based on their performance. You love them unconditionally. Stretch and give others the nudge and push them to be their best. Okay, you can't be afraid. Oh, she has to like me. She has to like me. She has to like me. Right? Your job as a leader is not to have a ton of friends. People can like you. And most of the time, if you love them unconditionally, they will, unless they have an issue themselves.
Stretch and give others.
Stretch and give others the nudge and push to be their best. If people are making you feel comfortable all the time in their space, quite frankly, that's probably not who you want as your inner circle. Oh, girl, it's okay. You can, no, right? They should make you uncomfortable. You should want to stretch and be your best. Tell people what they need to hear. Okay, if you want to be a success in life and a leader, you're going to tell people what they need to hear. Everybody will tell them what they want to hear. Half the time it's just a lie or just, you know, wrong reasons they're saying that. Coachable. I was definitely coachable. You know, I went to people, I listened to what they told me to do, and I didn't sit there and question or analyze it 100 different ways. I just, okay, I'm going to do it. I sought after people who went before me and were where I wanted to be, and I asked questions and didn't wait for people to tell me what to do. So what's the key word there? Sought. It's why I put Carson in the car at 5 weeks old and drove up to Georgia to meet Andenberry. It's why I drove an hour and a half to Dacia's meeting my first year when I could have gone to other meetings. Success is not convenient. If you're always wanting to be convenient, you will never be a success. I did stuff when I didn't feel like it. And Beth talked about that earlier, okay? So, do you guys wake up and do things when you don't feel like it? Do you take care of kids when you're sick? Do you go to a job when you have a migraine or when you have your period? But then you can't not show up to Mary Kay. Whenever I see people making excuses, oh, I didn't show up for this, I can't come to my meeting because of that, I'm like, you know, it's like, I'm making a note, I'm not judging, I still love them, but I can't work with that as a leader, someone that's going to be a leader to make those types of excuses, because you have to do it. I mean, I've been on Monday Night Live, and I've thrown up in the bathroom and nobody knew, okay? You show up, because that's who you are and you're committed. So consistent. You're consistent. You can't do anything up and down. You've got to be consistent. I worked daily. You don't have a 9 to 5. Some days I worked an hour. Other days I maybe worked 8, 10 hours. Who knows? It just depends on what was happening. If you want, structured 9 to 5 and never go outside the boxes, outside the lines, entrepreneurship will never work for you. You have to be fluid. You have to be flexible. Vision of what I wanted, and I thought about it all the time. I kept that vision in front of me by visualizing and picturing myself there, by goal posters, by affirmations, by vision statements. So how are you keeping your vision in front of you? Do you have a vision? We're going to talk about that tonight. And then unwavering belief was the last thing I wrote down. Unwavering. Unwavering belief. See, I love our theme right now, all in. Because if you're all in, that means you're not wavering, right? And too many times, I see it all the time. Somebody will have 1 foot in Mary Kay, 1 foot out, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. The moment you just go and have both feet in, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't even have to know my why or purpose, but I want to be all in. When you make that and you have that unwavering belief, there's no turning back. That's a game changer. So there's no secrets. I love that about Mary Kay, right? Everyone tells you what they did. So look at that list and really ask yourself, what can I work on, or where am I doing good at? What to do. Look at that list and say, am I dedicated? Am I giving up to go up? Inconvenient. Because if you're just working Mary Kay when it's convenient and fitting that around everything else versus making Mary Kay a priority and making some things work around that. I know where I'm going, I know what I want, and I have unwavering belief. So the first thing I want to tell you guys as we move into fear is just to know how to be successful, you guys, you have to be crystal clear on what you want. Okay, what you want. What do you need money for? What's motivating you, and what is your goal? And be crystal clear on how to get there. If you're not, talk to your director. Okay, here's what I think I need to do to get there, but get crystal clear on that. Because if you're fuzzy, right? If your vision is fuzzy, you're just gonna kind of stay where you're at. Okay, you got to have a clear picture. This is what I want. This is a vision of where I'm going. All right, so let's start talking about fear. People deal with fear because they say, I'm afraid I won't get what I want. How many of you have dealt with that? Right? You don't even set the goal. Many people don't even set the goal because they go, I'm scared, I'm not going to get what I want. So they don't even set it. Or they set it with a plan B. And sometimes you pray and you say, okay, I know this is really what I want, and God, I'm praying for this, but just in case, I have this plan B. I have this job, or I have this other, just in case, it doesn't work out, I'm going to have this, okay? Does that sound all in? Okay? Or sometimes fear is created because you say, I'm afraid things may not work out the way I'm thinking they may work out. And sometimes you even force things just in case God can't take care of it. Just in case He can't handle that situation. Right? Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
Yeah.
Right? Like the God of the universe cannot handle that? That's like a real fear. That we're thinking. I'm afraid that things may not work out the way I want, so I'm gonna do this. The turmoil in life comes from, okay, this is key, you guys. Right? Who's had turmoil in their life? Okay? This is where it comes from. It comes from because you get frustrated by what you don't have in your life. That's why you have turmoil in your life. It comes because you get frustrated by what you don't have in your life. You have not because you ask not. Right? We know that. We've heard that. You have not because you ask not. But sometimes we're not even asking. Oh man, I'm wishing, I wish that I could double my team. I'm wishing that I would have this success. I'm wishing that I have that. You haven't even asked God for it. And He said, and maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe you may have a prayer tonight or a prayer tomorrow, and you may be like, woo, woo, and get your head spin. I'm telling you guys, because I've seen that. Okay? So turmoil in your life. Do we want to get rid of turmoil? Yes? Yes. Start asking for what you want. Be specific to God with what you want. Instead of grumbling by what we don't have versus asking God for what we do want and trusting Him while we are doing the work. God, I've asked you for what I want, and I'm going to trust that you will work this out, and I'm going to do the work and keep going until you work it out. So here's the plan. Here's a simple plan. Ask God for what you want and trust God to give you what you need. That's it. Stop taking things personally. Stop trying to figure it out, analyze, blah, blah, blah. Here's the plan. Dear God, I'm asking you for what I want, and I'm trusting you to give me what I need. That's it. Who can do that? Simple. Keep it simple. Okay, so God, I feel like I'm called to leader. You brought me here in Mary Kay. I want to get to that next level. I want to be a director. Ask for that and trust God to bring you the people. You don't think he already knows the people? He already has the people. He needs you to show up and commit. He needs you to have all in, and then he'll bring you the people. He's not going to trust you with people's lives to lead them if you're one foot in, one foot out. I can remember that. And coming back from seminar, that's when I went all in. And it was like, boom. I went from 3 recruits in a year to 30, growing to 30 within the next couple months, driving a car and a director's suit. I went all in. I prayed and I went to work and just trusted that. So the other thing about fears that really hold us back from going for it is fear of failure or fear of imperfection. Who's dealt with either one of those fears? Fear of failure, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a failure, I don't want to fail, I don't want to put myself out there, or you're trying to be perfect, so you hold yourself back from that. So how many of you consider yourself a perfectionist? Okay, you deal with perfection issues. All right, here's what I want to say to you. It's really hard to get happy because you really struggle being happy with yourself. So if you're struggling with being happy, it's because you're not being happy with you. And just trusting you. And knowing that, you're good just the way you are. You're perfect just the way that you are. The only way to be happy with yourself is to accept that you will always have imperfections. Look at the person next to you and say, you have imperfections. And say, I do too. Okay? Are we okay with that? Is everybody okay with that? Okay, raise your hand if you have imperfections. Okay? It's not about being perfect. No one's perfect. Sometimes we try to do that, and here's the other thing I have realized dealing with this myself is that sometimes because we're not perfect at something, we feel we're not adding value to it. And so, I was like, man, I have all my, sometimes I feel, with my mom's group or dealing with SAC or, all the different things that I'm doing, it's like, man, I could be doing so much more with that. But you know what, just because I can't give 100% attention to that doesn't mean I'm not adding value in that area. Does that make sense, you guys? So you have to let go of that. Only way to be happy with yourself is to accept you always have imperfections and you're always going to make mistakes. And that's why you should have grace for other people, because you're going to make mistakes.
Can I say what my daughter left for me on that time? So my daughter, this is great. So my daughter actually left me 10 years old. She said, mistakes leads to improvements.
Oh.
She's 10. Yeah, she left that for me.
That's so right.
I just say that goes to
improvements. That's awesome. Look what you're doing, Barbara, for those kids. Awesome. Okay. So here's the other thing I think is really cool. Do you know that God assigns you weaknesses? Right? Like he knows. Like he purposely gives you. Why does he give us weaknesses?
So we can grow.
So we can lean on him. You have to
rely on him, not on yourself. Right? Right. If you had it all together, you wouldn't need him. So I will tell you, every big goal, I was always relying on him. I had to. I was praying, I was asking God for what I wanted, trusting him to do what I could not. And it's why we need one another, and you do need people. How many of you know you need people? Okay, if you don't think you need people, you're in the wrong business. Okay. So if you have been saying, I don't like to ask people for help, I like to do it all myself. Guess what? You got to get over that real quick. You got to get over that real quick. Because you have to know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. Yes? You all know your strengths and all know your weaknesses. People that are open and vulnerable, you probably know theirs as well. I'm sure all of you could say, Amy, I know one of your weaknesses. And that's okay. I hope that you know some of my weaknesses, okay? And because you have to be open and vulnerable. And then people can trust that. we could not run our, we could not run the meeting. I couldn't even put this together. Couldn't do the points. I couldn't have done this Google thing. There was probably 10 people that helped so tonight could happen. You have to be able to be asking people for help and not be embarrassed of it, right? I'm not embarrassed that you can't be, good at everything or be bad at everything. Know where you need help. But I know, we couldn't do the promotions, we have anything. So why would I not ask for somebody for help to put them in their sweet spot, make them feel valued and special versus me trying to run around and do some things mediocre, and some things just awful, right? So you have to know that, and you want to build a team that's complementary of your strengths, and also people that have different strengths that you have. So it's about knowing your strengths and priorities and putting your heart and soul into that, and then delegating and dumping the rest. As soon as you can be comfortable with being imperfect, you will be free from the fear of failure. Does that help with the fear of failure? Okay, so it's just being comfortable with not being perfect.
I don't have exactly that problem. I have fear of success.
Okay.
Because I have done, when I put my mind to this, I have been successful in the sense that I gain momentum, and I get here, but I transform because I love to do the parties, to meet the people and all that, and to help people. But then when I get there, I don't know, I get afraid, and I just go back.
What are you afraid of?
Live up to, what if I cannot duplicate it? What if it's something that I cannot, keep on doing? Maybe it's luck, maybe it's,
Okay. Hold that thought. We're going to talk about some luck and how we look at ourselves, and I think that will help. And let me know if we don't, and we'll talk more about that.
And also, I just wanted to comment, many things I just don't do or do very slow or late, because I want to do it perfect, being perfectionist.
See, and I think that's where it is, Kathy. I think you're dealing more with perfectionism.
And what I'm trying to do this year is like stop myself when I see myself doing that, and just think it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done.
It just has to be your best.
And yes, or at least just finish, because I don't finish because I want it to be perfect, always tweaking something. And I need to finish, otherwise I cannot.
So maybe one of your power statements, and we'll talk about that, is I'm good with being imperfect. I'm good with being imperfect. I'm okay with this being imperfect, because that's what we talked about earlier. You guys have, got to be okay with that. The only way to get past that is to tell yourself, I'm okay with being imperfect.
And they did a study, and they say the difference between perfectionism and just getting it done, it's like it's like a 3% difference. It is so small that you're wasting so much time to get that much extra. It's like such a small amount.
And it's just, I have to stop myself, because it's like innate. I don't know. It's something that I live with that for so long. I'm trying to.
That's why you're here.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
I think we all get that feeling, and that's that little inch of pushing through. And I think one thing that's helped me is just saying, God, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm just going to trust that you're going to give me the strength to do it. And I just keep praying for him, give me the strength, Lord. Like I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna be obedient. So I'm hoping he's gonna meet me halfway, kind of thing. Like, you're gonna meet me halfway, Lord, because I'm gonna be obedient. I'm gonna do it, even though I'm scared. I'm gonna do it because I know I have to do it. And I trust in you, Lord. I trust in you. I just keep sometimes I'll just say it out loud.
And you guys, when we gotta keep going because of time, you guys. But really, just accept it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing. You are not going to be perfect. Everything you do is going to be imperfect, and you gotta just keep reminding yourself that. And after you keep saying that so many times, you'll start to believe it, and it'll start to go in. So you never fail until you stop trying. John Maxwell, I love how he always said, "Fail forward." And here's what I know: I think God can use people who have courage. If you're always shrinking back, you got to be bold in your prayers. You got to be bold with people about what you're creating. If you're like, yeah, I'm doing this baby cave thing, but if you're at your parties and you're standing up and you're like, I'm creating the most dynamic women, I'm looking for leaders in our community who want to make a difference, who want to make an impact in their family and leave a legacy, and that's what I'm looking for, right? Does that sound like powerful and bold, and you want to be a part of that? So is that what you're telling people when you're at your parties? Are you just like, I'm a Mary Kay, and you're just having your little ice story? Okay, great, your ice story is cute. But you need to be telling people, this is my vision, this is where I'm going, and here's who I'm attracting. They have to feel that confidence. So, are your prayers bold? gonna walk in there and everyone's gonna, I just know that I'm gonna gold medal. I'm gonna add 5 team members this week. Or are you going, oh no, that's so hard. Yeah, that's hard for you, but not hard for God. Right? You don't think God could bring you 5 people this week? Seriously. Okay? So again, think about what you're thinking. Think about what you're praying. Are you being bold? I'm ready to pour it on, baby. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in DIQ this month. I'm gonna be a director by seminar. That is bold. Right? Are you making tiny little puny prayers? Okay? So the opposite of fear is that we have to have faith and belief. It's not always going to be in your time or exactly as you think it should go. It never goes exactly as you think it should go, I'll tell you that. But simple is believe it will happen. I want to talk about believing because I think that also believing is being obedient because you have to do the work with trusting the process. Okay? Because here's the deal. How many of you know what to do? Seriously? Okay? You know to do 3 parties a week. You know to do a power hour every day. You know you need 25 leads a week. So I know I'm going to do the activity through trials and life. And when people start saying, I mean, the one thing that probably makes like my skin crawl is excuses. I love you unconditionally, but I don't like excuses. Okay? And the reason is because it's just life happens to all of us. You're not exempt. This is called life. None of us are exempt. And, you know, I hear people sometimes like, okay, like right now, I know people that, oh, well, summer's coming. And then, you know, people make excuses because they're with their kids during the summer, right? And then, oh, man, gosh, in the summer, we're going to take some trips. And then, you know, before you know, oh, you know what, I'm really going to get going. You know, when the kids get, you know, I thought in summer, after the kids get out, because right now I'm just so busy with activities. But, man, now summer. Woo, summer's here, and I don't even know what to do with all these kids. It was so much easier when they were in class and they were in school, and now they're with me all day long. Ooh, when am I gonna have time to work, you know? And then, okay, now I'm getting it going. Oh, goodness, school's coming. I got a couple weeks. I got to get them ready. You know, I didn't know I'm getting ready, and I was getting Carolyn ready. I'm like, can you, like, half a day, you get some notebooks and that, like, what are you doing for a month, right? And so, you know, but then, oh, I got to get ready, you know, and now, you know, I'm going to get them ready for school, and oh my goodness, then now they're getting homework, I got to get used to the class, and now, you know, the kids, and, you know, fall is coming, and you know what, now I have, the holidays are coming, and so they have the fall festival at school, and I volunteered, and so, you know what, after that, I'm going to be ready, I'm going to really get ready after that. And then, you know, oh my goodness, it's November. It's November. I got Thanksgiving. I got everybody coming to my house for Thanksgiving. So I know after Christmas sales are going to be awesome. They're going to be awesome. Oh man, Christmas. We got the chorus concert. I'm volunteering at, you know, the nursing home, and I got this. So in the new year, oh yeah, January Jumpstart. I'll be at January Jumpstart. I'll be ready for that new year. And then New Year, oh man, you know what? I got the kid's birthday. And we're going to Disney. And so I'm so busy. And then next month, I got my husband's birthday. And then we get our anniversary. And so, you know what? I know what it's going to be a good time. Let me just get through that. It is Easter. It is Easter. Man, I'm volunteering at church. I got this going on. We got the eggs. I got the Easter egg hunt. So after that, I am going to be ready. It's going to be awesome time. I'm going to be getting ready for summer. Okay? But that is the deal, you guys. That's what I hear. So I just want to tell you guys, some of you know, but when I became a director, I debuted on March 1st. Will and I got married in April 1st. DIQ. Okay? It's like an intensive time. But I was planning a wedding. I didn't have a wedding planner. I couldn't afford it at the time. But that's what happened. You know how many people were like, why are you doing that now? I wasn't thinking, oh, because I'm planning a wedding, I can't become a director. You see, so many of you guys got to watch that because you're thinking, because this is happening in my life, I can't do that. Okay? When there used to be a big wall right here. This house was being remodeled for 7 months while we were living in it. I didn't have a working bathroom. We had workers here all the time. Where y'all are sitting, this used to be like a pool table right here because it was like bachelor pad. And we used to have our couches. It was crazy. 7 months I had here. That was the year we did $1 million. That was the year that we more than doubled our income. That was more than we doubled our sales. We broke a record, okay? Stop thinking that life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you guys. Baby's in the hospital. We still earned a top directorship. So you've got to be careful with telling yourself that because my life is in this season, I can't be as successful. That's nonsense, and it's a lie straight from the pit of hell. Mary, can you go open that door? Huh?
Yes,
I
buddy.
don't know why no one's opening the door for the dog. That's what he does all day long. All day long in the office, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so let's not have excuses. Let's not think there's gonna be a better time because it just doesn't work like that. Okay, just knock on it. I don't know what Will's doing. He probably left the kids in there by himself. Okay. All right, we're just kidding, buddy. Come on. All right, so anyways, you guys doing that, but I just want you to know I've done this business through deaths, through births, through all of it. All right, life does not stop, just like you don't stop going to a job when all that stuff happens. So why? Why did it being hurt, being betrayed, all through bad and good stuff and having to deal with stuff? Because I felt this was a calling. And when you feel that God has called you to something, you can't be swayed. You can't be swayed, like the wind. Okay? So here's what I know. When you know that you're a leader and be called to make an impact, and know that that's why you're here, you're not confused. People aren't confused, you guys, but you're distracted. You're not confused, right? You know what you want. If you really went on that walk, you could figure out what do you want out of life. You're not confused, but you're distracted by life. So now I want to tell you that a lot of people I was close to haven't always, and still some don't understand my unwavering commitment to this. Tamina, will you go yell at them and see if they're outside and see what's going on? And again, the unwavering commitment to this, and why do it, but I'm so committed to changing lives, and know that this does this on such a big scale, and know it gives me access to the most incredible women, relationships, experiences, and growth. So I know that it's important to me, and therefore I don't need to explain it to anybody else. Don't feel like you need to justify it. Not everyone's going to understand. It's not your vision. God did not give them the same vision that He's given you. So I'm going to say this to you. If you have to give up everything you're supposed to do to keep somebody else happy, then that person doesn't care about you as much as you think. Just saying. People who love you want you to be fulfilled. They want you to follow your heart. They don't want to manipulate you for their own purposes. One of the things that really helped me is knowing and telling myself I serve an audience of one. Okay? I serve an audience of one. And through different seasons, that's really helped me. And I'm not trying to be popular. I'm trying to be a difference maker. And sometimes that's very unpopular. So who are you concerned with pleasing? Who are you concerned with pleasing? Do you know what God is asking you to do? And are you following that with your whole heart? If you really just had a conversation with God, He'll show you and He'll tell you. But are you willing to follow that with your whole heart? Don't miss what He is trying to make, but don't miss what that is trying to make somebody else happy. Because a lot of times people live their life trying to make those other people happy. This is powerful, guys. Y'all have heard me say that. 70% of people hate their job.
Yeah.
70% of people hate their job. So why don't they leave it? Why don't they do something about it? Why? Fear. They let fear hold you back. If not, why wouldn't more people go full time? Why wouldn't they go all in? If I would have waited forever to, quit that, I'm glad that I quit my corporate job in DIQ, because I knew that that corporate job was not what God intended me to do, and I had to take that step of faith first, and let it blow up. So I want to tell you, when I did the transition to full time, there was absolutely times I wasn't loving the moment, the daily work, but I remember why I was doing it, and I chose that, and I'm going to have a good attitude, and this is what I decided to do, and I'm not going to waste time dreading the daily routine. And sometimes, you guys, that's what stops us in our tracks. We dread the daily routine. Instead of going, no, I trust this is going to get me where I said I wanted to be, and I trust that that's going to get me to that vision. So the last thing I want to say about fear is fear of lack. What if I don't have enough? What if I'm not enough? And I want to tell each of you that you are enough. You are enough. I want you to say that. I want you to say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Like you believe it. I am enough.
I am enough.
Yeah, one more time, a little hard.
I am enough.
You already have everything you need inside of you. God's not holding back. He hasn't given you something that you're waiting on. He's just waiting on you to show up and decide. Worry and fear can keep us from fulfilling our calling. Fear is the enemy of faith, and fear don't go together, so let's choose and choose faith over fear. It's simple to believe, have faith and trust, and do our part. Be bold and courageous and do. I want you to just maybe jot down and write the one place that fear resonated with you, and share that, with your director this week. And I wanted just to share with you this story about fear. And there's a quote from Les Brown, and it says, "Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears." So how many of you are living your fear or living your dreams? Chase just dropped something off. Okay. So I want to read you this story it's called Dope on a Rope, about fear. There once was this criminal who had committed a crime because, hey, that's what criminals do. That's their job. Anyway, he was sent to the king for his punishment. The king told him he had a choice of 2 punishments. He could be hung by a rope or take what's behind the big, dark, scary iron door. The criminal quickly decided on the rope. As the noose was being slipped on him, he turned to the king and asked, "By the way, out of curiosity, what's behind the door?" The king laughed and said, "It's funny. I offer everybody the same choice, and nearly everyone picks the rope." "So," said the criminal, "tell me, what's behind the door?" "I mean, obviously I won't tell anyone," he said, pointing to the noose around his neck. The king paused and answered, "Freedom." But it seems that most people are so afraid of the unknown that they immediately take the rope. Doesn't that describe our business a lot? Mm-hmm. We stop ourselves from doing things because it's unfamiliar. I love the message in the story. It's a powerful reminder about how so many of us cling to the familiar. Yes, unfortunately, too many of us live our lives choosing the familiarity of our rope, familiar pain, familiar struggle, familiar patterns, fearful of going for the unknown alternative, which can lead to freedom and ultimate happiness. Alan Watts said, "Our lives are only one long effort to resist the unknown. The result, we're a planet full of folks walking around with ropes around our necks, wondering why we feel a bit emotionally and spiritually dead to the world around us. So today, decide to have the courage to push past your fears. Today, decide to finally take off those ropes that bind you and blind you. Start bravely opening up those doors which lead to the unfamiliar, knowing that you are also headed towards freedom, growth, and greater joy." And I just want to say, you guys, if you're staying comfortable, you're not growing. All right? If you've never done a teacher appreciation, go do a teacher appreciation. Go do those things that get you out of your comfort zone, that get you uncomfortable. You're not willing to warm chatter? Well, all right, moving from fear. All right, let's talk about self-esteem, okay? How do we think of ourselves is crucial to our success. How many of you know that? How we think of ourselves is crucial to our success. Self-esteem has got to be in a good place. So many people are living so far from their potential for joy and success because of their self-concept. Your self-concept has 3 aspects I want to talk to you about tonight. Number 1 is your self-ideal. Number 2 is your self-image. And number 3 is your self-worth. Okay, let's talk about the first one, your self-ideal. This is your future picture that you have of yourself. This is your best case scenario of the person that you can become, best self. It reflects what you believe is ultimately possible for you to become and do. Okay, so it reflects what you believe is ultimately possible for you to become and do. It is what you now consider to be your best future. This is what your life would look like if everything went perfect for you. Your goals, your dreams, and aspirations combined in that single vision. It's kind of like a GPS that prompts you to navigate your way towards your future destination. And if you're open, God will prompt you. Yes, this is the right way. No, don't do that. Yes, do this. Because your self-ideal unites your past experiences with your hopes for the future, it can serve to restrict you. Y'all see how that could happen? So it can restrict you because if you're holding on to the past and who you were, what you didn't accomplish, or why it took you this long, so that means you've got to let go of that. And sometimes pray about that. Let me just forget about that. All right, that past does not dictate my future. Maybe you need to say that to yourself. My past does not dictate my future. That could be maybe in some of your affirmations. My past does not dictate my future. For most people, this is a very vague and unclear. And if it's unclear, your brain won't work to make it happen. So you guys, think about that. If your vision is unclear, your brain cannot even make it happen. Hello? Is that huge? Right? Okay? So if you're walking around and you don't have a clear vision statement, if you don't have a clear picture of your goals and of your vision and of your future, your brain cannot even go there. Oh my gosh. So how do we create a self-ideal that it's concrete, clear, and positive? How do we do this? I just told you one way. Right. Vision statement. Affirmations. An mission statement. Right? Oh my gosh. You guys, if we're not doing this in our lives, do you see? Like, this is huge. So, of course, this is definitely something I want you all to work on this week. Okay? Remember, I'm not your boss. I can't make you do anything. I can only tell you the things. But if your brain can't even work towards the future, if you don't do those things, is that not serving us all to do those things? Yes. All right. So, these are conscious written articulation of your full potential as God sees it. And there's examples, you guys, of my vision statement and affirmations online. So if it's hard for you to get that going, there's examples of mine on our website. Writing out this vision and your lifetime goals becomes something that you can use to fine-tune the image that you have for yourself in the future. Okay, so y'all excited to get clear on that? Get your vision. Maybe go somewhere that it's quiet, back in the nature to do that. All right, number 2 is your self-image. Your self-image is formed primarily by your environmental influences, and this is what guides your behavior. Okay, so this is the things around you in your environment that's influencing you, and based on what's influencing you is going to direct your behavior. So it develops from what you say to yourself and what others, particularly your parents and what your spouse says to you. Our self-image is critical because we almost always and consistently with the internal image we have of ourselves. In fact, you cannot expect to behave differently from your self-image programming any more than you can expect to put chocolate cake batter in the oven and an hour later take out apple pie. I know I like to have food examples. Okay, right? So what is that saying to us? We can only get out what we're going to put in. You can't put in something and then expect to get something out differently. So your mental image of yourself, it acts like a performance thermostat. Okay, I want everybody to think about a thermostat. Okay, so what do you do if you're, hot? You change the temperature, okay? And if you're cold, same thing. So regulating your behavior just as a thermostat controls the room temperature. So did y'all know, right now, I could walk over and change it. The same thing goes for you. You can walk over and right now and change your behavior thermostat and your habit thermostat. It's that simple, really. It's that simple. So you can walk over to the change it anytime you want if you're willing to do it. If you do not change your performance thermostat, you're very likely to keep repeating what you've always done. That's it. Is that cool? So I want you to picture that thermostat and say, so where am I going to go change that thermostat to? Your self-image has repetitive rationalizations like, well, I'll just start the diet or work out tomorrow, right? I can cheat and eat the pastry today. You can catch up next week. Well, it's better to play it safe. I'm not going to do that because, I'm just going to play it safe. One more time won't really hurt. If I just do it one more time, it won't hurt anything. So you can override past negative programming by deliberately choosing new behaviors that line up with your God-given potential, whether or not you feel like it. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. You can override past negative programming, right? The past negative programming that we've done in our head and our minds by deliberately choosing new behaviors. Okay, what are these new behaviors going to line up with? Our God-given potential. Myself as this person, how God sees me. Your self-image can interfere, it determines how you use your time, your talents, your knowledge, your skills, and your experiences. True? Mm-hmm. So see, how we see ourselves is going to determine how we're using our time, how we're using our talent. So why did many gifted and often well-educated individuals fail to live up to their potentials? It's because they see themselves as losers instead of winners. This is why when you recruit somebody, you say, oh man, you have so much potential. Potential's crap. Potential's crap. Say potential's crap. Potential's crap. It is. Because, right, there can be brilliant people and they'll be homeless. It doesn't matter. Okay, that doesn't matter. Potential doesn't mean anything. It's because how they see themselves. So we got to help people work on their self-esteem, like what we're talking about today. We all know a lot of people who have great talent, but they do little with it, yes? Sad to see that. I know that's the most frustrating part of what we do. We see somebody with so much potential, but until they want to change their thermostat, there's nothing we can do. On the other hand, we know plenty of people who have few advantages, but they will make the most of them. I love that, Mary Kay. I love that you don't have to be, brilliant, right? It's like, can all make it happen. So I want you to think about a time that was a peak performance time in your life. Write it down. Think about a time that was you were at peak performance time in your life, and that you quite frankly thought that you were playing over your head. You're like, I'm over my head, but I don't even know how this is happening, but it's going that way. You may not felt that you had the skills to handle the situation or accomplish something that great. You're like, how am I accomplishing this? Or maybe you even felt like you got lucky. Like, man, I guess I'm getting lucky. The truth is that these peak moments when you appear to be playing over your head or are actually glimpses of your full potential. And if you stay in that realm, you can never go back. You stay operating there. Once you've actually gone there, you actually can only go forward. Unfortunately, we tend to distance ourselves from our best moments, explaining them always as exceptions to the rule, and the rule being our current picture of ourselves when we're not feeling so hot. What if we were to live in those best moments all the time? See, when I look at each of you, I can see a shiny moment. So think about that best shiny moment you can picture of yourself. What if you walked in that space? Barbara, you'll be creating yours on that stage in front of 15,000 people picking up a diamond ring. What a moment. What a shiny moment that will be in your life. And trust me, you will never forget it. Okay? So you guys, we got to find that shiny moment, and we got to operate in that all the time. All right, the third thing is your self-worth. So we looked at the self-ideal, which is, again, our future picture. That's our best self. If everything was perfect, how we would look. And then our self-image was our current picture of the self. Self-worth is authentic. So now the self-worth is your authentic self-esteem rooted in your uniqueness of a child of God. Your self-worth demonstrates how spiritually fit and ready to do God's work through you. It's revealed how receptive you are to God's blessings and favor. Who wants God's blessings and favor? Right? I mean, I'm praying for this all the time. Is that not exciting? Like that, I get excited. Like, please, give me more favor. Give me more blessing. And sometimes you see that. You're like, man, that person seems blessed all the time. You think, right? You think, oh, they just get all the favor. Right? Because they're asking for it, because they feel, they're like, God, I'm ready for it. God, use me. Like, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take it serious. That's what self-worth is. Saying, God, I can be your vessel. I'm ready to be your vessel. Isn't that exciting? Mm-hmm. Okay. So instead of beating yourself up about your inadequacies, because we all got them, we could choose to focus on that, but you remind yourself of how incredible you are, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that God has great plans for you, that you trust God's word more than the words of others to appraise you or value. You don't need other people to praise you or add value to you. You're going to say that. Remember, who do you serve? An audience of one. So self-worth is not based on achievements, but on the significance that you place on your life outside of your performance. Outside of your performance. On your identity as one created and loved by God. But here's the cool part. Y'all ready for this? Okay? Oddly enough, right? You're not focused on your performance. You're focused on who you are as a person in Christ. But when you see yourself as worthwhile and valuable outside of those accomplishments, then you're in a better position to excel. Isn't that cool? So I wanted to show you this because I was kind of feeling down about myself with some things, and so someone encouraged me to do this, and I wrote 5 things that show me that I'm incredible. And I wrote 5 things about myself, and then I put a Bible verse with all 5. So I encourage all of you to do that. And keep that in front of you, because it's so easy to look at our inadequacies, to look at the things that, man, I suck at this, or gosh, if I could just figure out this Google Hangout, or if I could just, or whatever, So I want you to write down 5 reasons that you're awesome, 5 reasons that you're incredible, and put those 5 verses and keep that up somewhere And every day, you look at it. Don't put it in a drawer. That's something you gotta look at all the time. Okay, the last thing I wanna talk about in closing, and we'll move into the book, is commitment. I want you to think back to when you first found love with that special somebody, okay? Has everybody been in love at some point? Okay. And I want you to think back when you first fell in love, okay? Is everybody back there to that moment?
I remember that.
Okay. What would you have done? What would you do for this person?
Oh gosh. Jump out the window.
Anything.
Oh, my mom.
They would ask you, oh, could you go run an errand? You're like, oh, I did that, honey. I'm on top of that. Oh, the trash. Oh, the trash. I'd be happy to take out the trash. Absolutely. In high heels and an apron, cute. Okay, I will do that. You know, and you do it joyfully. Convicted. Okay. Anyway, so some of you know, but Will is like a big outdoors guy, right? So when we started dating, I would do anything. He used to live in Fort Lauderdale on this canal, and he had a boat, and I used to go wakeboarding in a canal.
What is wakeboarding?
That
You
little.
stand on a paddle.
It's like skiing, but you're standing on like a surfboard in a canal.
In the middle of the night.
A canal with alligators. Okay, my nails would be like ripped off. I'm like, I'm good. Okay.
Sorry.
I went to the Everglades and I slept on a chickadee, which was like the size of this rug.
That's
Okay,
That's a
with
lot.
3 guys and me for 4 days. All right, so I would do anything. I remember when I took Will home for the first time, and he's like telling my dad about all these adventures that we've been doing. And I can still picture it. I was sitting here, Will was over there, my dad was on this side. I kept looking back, and my dad's like, And Will's all excited. He's like, yeah, I found this like girly girl that likes to do all this cool stuff. And then I remember after he told us, my dad goes, you talking about my daughter? Okay, so I was willing to do anything. So what if we had that same commitment to our business? What if we said, I am willing to do anything it takes to make this work? I'm willing to do anything to prove myself that I'm going to be a director. Because here's what I know. Years go by, and passion fades, but commitment is what will stick. And there's been ups and downs in my business and relationships, right? That you will have that. So can you sustain through the challenges? Because there will be challenges. A few weeks ago, some of you may know, I went camping again. Why? Not because I want to do anything for love, because I'm committed. And that was important to him. I was willing to get bit up by mosquitoes, sleep in a tent on my period. Awesome.
It was my birthday weekend. I had to do that.
Was I on my birthday weekend?
No, I'm saying I had to. I
okay.
hate camping too, and I had to do it on my birthday weekend.
There you go. Sacrifice. You got what it takes, Barbara.
I actually like them, but.
Glamping. I think I'm glamping. So, what if we had this commitment in our business and we were willing to do what we need to do when we ought to do it because we know what it's going to bring us, right? I know that it's going to make him happy to do it, right? And then I'm going to do my stuff, okay? So what if you're willing to do what you know that you need to do and do it when you ought to do it because you know it's going to get you that mission, because it's going to get you to that experience, because it's going to get you to be able to have enough money in the bank to take care of the people you care about most when it matters the most. So here's the bottom line. We focus on what we get. You're going to get what you focus on, yes? So if you're focused on where you're going, your vision, your excitement, and how awesome you are, then great things are going to happen. But if you focus on your inadequacies and your fears and your all the imperfection, then you're going to get stuck and stay exactly where you are. So when I started out today, I talked about we want change. So what we focus on, here's the news, you guys. There's tons of bad stuff going in the world, right? We know this. You may not be happy with your income, in your bank account right now. So are you focusing on what you're creating? Or are you listening to the positive stuff? How many of you have ever played a video game with a kid? Okay. And how many of you lost? Okay. Why? Because they're smarter than you?
More experience.
Because they're young. Experience. Write that word down. Experience. They've done it before. Leaders anticipate and followers react. Leaders anticipate, followers react. Are you anticipating the great things? And if you don't have a plan, you can't anticipate. Reacting is stressful. Reacting is stressful. We've got to plan. You cannot go to bed and not do a 6 most important list. You cannot think you're going to have a powerful day without a 6 most important list. You cannot think you're going to have a powerful week without a weekly plan sheet. And if you're resisting the things to be successful, get over it or choose not. But you've got to anticipate that. Because reacting, if you're just reacting all the time, it is so stressful. It's so stressful, you guys. You feel out of control and overwhelmed, and something in business is to make a plan and get a strategy. So that's a part what I'm absolutely expecting for you guys to do this week is get your plan together, have a strategy. Because if we react, then we let somebody else run our life. If we just run on reaction and autopilot. So we talked a lot today, and I hope some of the key things that you're taking away is to get a plan, to be crystal clear on your goals and what it takes to get there, and support it with a strong vision statement and mission statement and affirmations, and write your 5 great things about yourself, and to be intentional about building your self-worth, and to walk in faith and let go of the fear, failure, and perfectionism and any other fears that are holding you back from your full potential. Next week, we're going to focus on a lot of what we're going to focus on is who you're attracting to you and how to attract the right people and the right success to you. Okay, so we're going to tap into that. So next week, again, same points. Your homework, it's worth 50 points, you guys, okay? It's 2 parts. You are going to, I'm going to post this later on the box, either later tonight or tomorrow. It's going to be Mary Lyons' 21-day video. Okay, some of you have already seen it. There's different versions out there. It doesn't matter if you've already seen it. You're going to watch it again. Okay, you might want to watch it more than once. Maybe one time to watch it, another time to take notes.
21-day consecutive.
21-day revolution. Okay, Mary Lyons is the one that started it. And to set up your follow-up system as you're doing these bookings, because that's the part 2 of this first challenge or your homework, is to book 10 parties for May.
Set up what? I'm sorry.
To book your 10 parties for May. Because you guys, that is the first step. And when you get really serious and you really get committed, it's getting the 10 parties. So the 21-day revolution is talking about how to create the system, right, as you're booking to follow up. And you guys, I have to tell you, there's, I think it was one of Lisa's directors that she was telling me. She was a director, and she was like, just basically doing the bare minimum. And after a couple months of doing this, you guys, she had a new director, she had 2 DIQs, and she tripled her production in a simple system. Okay, so you got to understand when things work, and we need that follow-up. So again, you guys, that's the first step. We've got to get these parties booked. Nothing happens until the parties are booked. Facials are extra, guests are extra, events are extra, right? But you're doing all those things to create the parties. You've got to master the parties. That is how our business works. It always will. It's extra, but that's, all right? And think about all the money you're going to make. Hello? You kidding? All the money? Yes. Okay. So you're going to watch, I'll post that. You can watch it. Your bonus points this week, some of you are going to really like the first bonus point because you already got it. Register for seminar. Some of you can already get 30 points. Woo-hoo! Okay. So if not, you guys are leaders. You don't need to procrastinate and wait. Leaders register right when it opens. Okay. Number 2, the second bonus points for 30 points is you're going to watch Zig Ziglar's Top 10 Rules for Success. It's about 37 minutes long, I think. And you just Google it on YouTube. Huh?
Top 10 rules.
Top 10 rules for successful living.
Did you see it? This one you gave us that one. No, this wasn't up. Okay. Yeah, no, that's different. Top 10 rules for success. And Rachel, I'm going to probably try to send you that link so you can add that on there. But if you just YouTube that, you'll be able to find it. Okay? So any questions on homework or bonus points this week? So we're gonna create a new document and we'll add those and post that, okay? All right, so you guys, at this time, you're gonna go with your hubs and we're gonna do your book. The chapters are short, so you guys can do them however you want in your hub if you wanna assign people to read the chapter and to discuss that, okay? So bye, you guys. Enjoy your book time.